We are live.
What's happening?
I like the intro. Oh wait, you know what?
What's up? Now I hear you.
Bam! The first live podcast for the Mad Suit Podcast. I'm Fat Boy Happy. We have Cyclops in the house. What's up, brother?
What's happening?
Shit. So we are officially live on YouTube and Twitch. So I know we're probably not going to have any fucking views right now, but hopefully this grows into something bigger and it'll be fucking badass. So, how was your week, sir?
Busy, nonstop. It seems like if I was finished with one thing, I had to go to the
Oh
next.
yeah.
Yeah. And then I got kind of sick.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hopefully you get a little bit better. I took most of the week off. I went back to work Thursday cuz my back's been killing me, but I've been taking some meds, so hopefully over the weekend I'll get better and looking forward to the changes at work. Me and you were talking about it earlier, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, yeah, so we're gonna get with the news around the world. First up, I saw this. I thought it was cool. I thought about you when I saw this. So there are researchers in China that have made a bionic eye, and apparently, what this bionic eye can do is pretty much replace your bad eye with this good eye. And as of right now, they have I think they said they were able to bring back like 40% vision. So obviously that's better than nothing. So I think that's pretty cool for people that have, vision issues and all that. So are you going to get a bionic eye when if you can?
I don't know because I wonder how that works. Is that for someone that's completely blind and they just like, because what I was reading about it is it lets them see shadows and things like that. I don't know how that would go with like a regular eye. Like if you have a healthy eye and you put this kind of like half working bionic eye, and let's say they can get to this point where it actually just looks like the other eye, and
Right.
then it would
I
make
mean,
more.
I think it'd still be cool regardless. I wonder though, but like maybe like it's kind of like I don't know, like when you file for disability, maybe you have to have so much percentage of blind before you qualify to get it or something like that. Maybe that's how it works. I don't know. But moving on to the next topic. Um Man arrested for spying on women's feet and vacuuming their cars. Let me explain this crazy shit right here, right? So apparently there was a guy that was arrested last week on the East Coast. He was breaking into women's cars and vacuuming like the floor of the car, and was also like spying on women's feet, would like take pictures if they were wearing sandals and shit. Kind of a weirdo. Have you ever had anyone take pictures of your feet, and would you be willing to sell pictures of your feet to make money on the internet?
I don't know, size 15.
Hey, you know what they say about you know what they say about the size of the 15. You got
Right,
big
right,
feet. You got
right,
big
right.
feet. You got big shoes.
Hey, I wish he would come vacuum my car. Like,
Dude, vacuum my car.
I'll
You can
open the
smell my
door.
feet.
I'll
You can
open the
smell
door
my
and take
feet.
pictures. If you want to, if that's all you want, you're gonna just vacuum my car.
If you want,
Hey,
you can touch my feet as long as I get my vacuum or my car vacuumed out. I'm good with
right.
that. What else we got on the world news? Uh, Baloney smuggler near Texas border. Do you want to explain that one?
There was a story I read. I think it was about a month ago, where like the border patrol got this guy that was smuggling like a bunch of baloney trying to go through the Texas border, and um, I guess he didn't make it. But I don't know the intention there, but smuggling baloney. You know, we always hear about drugs, but it's Oscar Mayer
Right.
this time.
So, like, was there like any drugs in the bologna?
No, it's just baloney.
So he, so now there's a black market for bologna.
Maybe there is.
Oh, we are in the wrong line of business, my friend. We need to get some of that bologna money.
I
And
hope
if there
it, I
was a
hope it at least was the Oscar Mayer, not the Walmart brand.
well, when you can't afford the Oscar Mayer, you got to go with the black market
Yeah,
shit, right?
yeah.
And to kind of piggyback what we were talking about last week, how again, before I say this, me and you are neither a Democrat or a Republican.
Oh,
We just go off what we see on the internet. Okay. But apparently, a Minnesota man kills family and himself after Trump won the election. Now, this is going to go back to what I said last week. If you are in the business of trying to convince me to be a Democrat, this is not the way to go. Thoughts?
it's just it's insane.
What do you think?
Like why? At the end of the day, whether it was Trump or Harris or whoever, I got to get up and go to work. You got to get up and go to work, and it's going to be the same thing every day. And why are you going to cry and yeah, well, and even in this case, just do something completely despicable and evil just because an election didn't go your way? Like that's terrifying to me that people would do that, and it's kind of sad that people would just get so emotional. Uh, Either way, why again, you're still gonna go to work tomorrow. You're still gonna do your thing. So is everybody else. You may not be happy with it, but you kind of have to live with it. Like the stuff that's
Right.
completely out of your control.
And I think it's funny how people overreact. Oh my God, Trump won. Now all my rights are going to get taken away, and we're never going to have an election again because he's going to change it. Like that's again, I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat, but I can firmly say that just like you said, we're all going to still have to wake up in the morning and go to work. Not all that shit's going to change. We're still going to have rights. There's going to be some changes to laws, but I don't think it's going to be as traumatic as people make it out to be.
But he's
But you
got to
know
go
what?
through Congress for a lot of stuff, and a lot of those guys, even the Republicans, don't like him. So there's still going to be checks and balances.
Right. And you know what? I'm doing this a little early, but to all you people out there that overreact because Trump won and Harris didn't, I got something for you. Go fuck yourself. Moving on. So, I sent this to you the other day. The Congress meeting regarding UAPs slash UFOs, and they had 4 experts on there, and they pretty much confirmed that the government, which me and you have already known this, and many others have also known this, the government has known about the UAPs slash UFOs. Apparently, they've made contact. Apparently, they have um, gathered bodies of beings not from this planet. And as a matter of fact, there's actually a couple of there's a few employees of the government that are receiving workers' compensation for being injured in the process of their recovery of beings from not this earth. Um, I don't know if you got a chance to watch it, but what are your thoughts on that congressional hearing about the UAPs?
Yeah, kind of convenient how that stuff doesn't really make the news. You kind of have to dig for it, and like the
All
whole
right.
aliens and UFOs are real thing, like should be kind of a big deal, right?
I mean, you would think, right? Because that's it's an unknown entity that is always being found above our nuclear or around our nuclear sites and our bases. As a matter of fact, I wish we can show it on here. But didn't you have an experience with a UFO yourself a few years back?
Yeah, I drove underneath a triangle shaped craft, and it had a light on every corner, and it kind of just floated across the highway, and I drove underneath it, and it's just like you can sit here and be a skeptic all you want if you've never seen it, and I understand if you've never seen one to be skeptical. But if you've driven underneath one and it's right there up close and personal, it's like, oh wow, these things are real. And this was like this is over a decade ago, so it's before a lot of the drone stuff became, mainstream, because now you see drones everywhere, big drones.
All over the
But
place, right?
but this was as wide as a highway, so it wasn't a drone.
Yeah, I think one day we're gonna try to get this picture out. When you showed me that a while back, that was like probably the most amazing thing I ever saw. It was clearer. It was more clearer than a lot of the pictures that you see on the internet. And it's one thing when you see it on the internet, but like when you showed it to me from your experience, it was unreal, So I thought that was pretty freaking cool. I had my experience with the UAF or UAP/UFO, pretty much the same thing. I was driving and I saw like this bright rectangular. I mean, it had to have been like as long as a football field, if not longer. And it just went to it like it was going left to right, and then it slowed down, and then it shot up in the air, and I didn't see it. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever, being that I am a UFO enthusiast, and I just wish I can get abducted. I think that shit would be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But we'll
People,
see what happens, though, with that congressional hearing.
yeah, I mean, that would be interesting to be abducted.
Yeah, why not? Get away from all these people acting stupid over the election results. Just travel the galaxy. That'd be badass.
Yeah.
Also, news around the world that got our attention. Secret bonus
Yeah.
tracks on CDs. You want to hit this one up there, Cyclops?
Yeah. So I think everybody back in the 90s.
Talk to me.
Back in the 90s, we all knew there were bonus tracks on CDs, right? Like, so you have 12 or 15 songs on a CD, and then there might be like a song on number 22 or 23, and like, oh, cool, there's a secret track. But what I didn't know are there are these like super secret bonus tracks. So you go on the first track, you rewind it into the negatives, and there's a couple bands that I know of that they were talking about, 311 and Korn. There might be more that have these secret tracks like in the negatives. So you have to rewind the first track back into the negatives to play that.
I remember hearing about the hidden tracks, and like from like you remember like all the talk from like the 60s, 70s, and 80s where if you play it backwards on the spins, it'll be like a a message or some hidden message and stuff. I always thought that shit was pretty interesting.
There were a lot of paranoid religious leaders in the 80s and 90s that thought that was like there were secret satanic messages, and Judas Priest,
right? Black Sabbath,
bands like that.
Yeah, of course they want to shit on all the good bands, But what about ABBA? I bet they had some secret shit in theirs.
Michael Bolton,
that devil, But anyway, so that is the news around the world. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to kick off a segment we like to call What Pissed Us Off Today. So, I think I will go first. Actually, no, I think you should go first. Tell us about your experience at Tilted Kilt.
Yeah, so there's this restaurant that, I go to every now and then that, well, I had a broken toothpick in my quesadilla.
A broken toothpick in your quesadilla?
And I'm not a Karen. Like, I don't go to the manager but I was like, I thought that was pretty egregious. Now, they took care of it. They did. I'm not going to say they didn't.
So what did they do?
They comped everything, but
they comped everything out.
But it's still like, how? Like, I could understand, like, I could understand if it belonged there to begin with. Like, some burgers come with a toothpick.
Right, going down the middle to hold it all together.
And it just broke. I could get that. I could get that. But I don't understand how it even got there. That's just where
not in the quesadilla.
No.
That sucks. And Fuck you, Tilted Kilt. Leave your toothpicks out of the food. The next thing that pissed us off, I will hit this up. Maybe this has happened to you, but I am getting sick and tired of getting hit with the injury bug when I'm trying to win my fantasy league. Okay. Now, this has a deeper meaning for me. I rarely get the first pick in the draft. Me and you have been in the same league for many of years, and I hardly ever get the first pick. And the one fucking time I got the first pick, it was when Tom Brady was in his heyday. Tom Brady was the man, and I got the first pick in the draft. You know I'm going with Tom Brady. Okay. So I already knew I got Tom Brady. I'm winning it this year. And I think back then we were playing for money. Now we do it for fun. But I think back then there was a lot at stake, right? So I got Tom Brady. I don't remember who else I got, but you get Tom Brady, you're gonna get top 3, at least go to the championship. So what happens? First play of the first game of the regular season, Tom Brady gets hurt for the rest of the year. And ever since then, every fucking year, I get hit with the injury bug. Now my problem is I don't have any really good running backs. Somehow I'm still in the top 5 in my leagues, but I've been hit with the injury bug, and that shit's pissing me off. And I got something to say about that. Fuck you, injury bug in fantasy league. Has that ever happened to you, Cyclops?
Yeah, it either goes like it's never one player. If I start getting injuries, it's like 3/4 of the team.
Yeah, that's how it is with me. Usually, though, lately it's been like all my running backs.
Yes, and you'll end up with a team of punt and kick returners just starting.
And like 3 defensive teams because I don't have anything else. Right. Yeah, fuck that shit. The next thing that pissed us off this week, annoying influencers such as Mr. Andy Elliott, Harry Sesson, and that fucking retard, Andrew Tate. Do you care to explain, Cyclops?
It's just sort of a random thing. Like, I'm just like these people that get millions of views on the different social media platforms. I think you mentioned him before, but Andy Elliott, he's like this car salesman guru, and he's always pumping up his crew, and he's always yelling at them and belittling them because maybe they don't have enough confidence. They're not a good salesperson or whatever. And it's like, just come on already, dude. You're selling cars, bro.
Or he's shitting on them for not having a 6-pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Harry Sisson is like some 20-year-old kid that just cries over Trump every day. And we've already talked about that. That's just annoying.
Right.
And then Andrew Tate is like this kind of another like Andy Elliott, but macho type. But I don't even know what he's really famous for other than being big, bad, macho. And
I have no idea either.
I think he says a bunch of stuff like derogatory to women to wire them up and get views and stuff like that. He's almost like a wrestling skit, like he's trying to be the heel or something.
Right.
And he's big. He's a big pro-Trump. So see here, we went after both anti-Trump and pro-Trump. Okay.
No one can say we're picking a side.
Right. They're both annoying.
Both of them.
Annoying.
Yep.
All of these people. Like when you just look on there, like I'm tired of, like I don't need someone else to tell me my opinion on things.
Right.
I can have my own.
Right. So to all you annoying influencers, go fuck yourself. And that's gonna be pretty much everything. Well, no, we got more. Jimmy John's subs. What you got on that?
So a while ago, we got the first Jimmy John's here. Right. And I'd never been to a Jimmy John's. So I was like, I'll go try it out because I like subs. I mean, I like all these different subs, but I did not know that they're all cold. Like that's their thing, I guess, to deliver it faster or whatever.
Right.
But like, they're all just ice cold. I'm like, ugh.
So let me ask you this. It's a Saturday. You're having a good day. You had a good week. You got some extra money. You're gonna go get a sub. Where's your go-to sub store? Firehouse subs. And what are you getting at Firehouse?
Meatball.
The meatball. I think I've gone to Firehouse subs a handful of times. I do prefer it over the other places.
Jersey
They
Mike's
have,
is good too.
huh?
I like Jersey Mike's too.
Jersey Mike's is good too, yes. But if I had to choose between the two, I'm going with Firehouse because they have, I don't know what it's called, but they got this sub that's got meatball and pepperoni, and that shit's fucking amazing. Which, by the way, they're not a sponsor of the show, but Firehouse representatives, if you just so happen to see this after I tag you on Twitter, if you want to sponsor us, I mean, come holler at your boy, okay? But yeah, Firehouse is definitely my go-to. So Jimmy John's in the cold subs. Fuck you. Make some hot subs. And finally, what pissed us off this week? Go ahead and go with it.
Okay, I'll explain.
Yeah.
So, if you're on Facebook, right? Have you
Okay.
ever gotten tagged with this at everyone thing, and you get this message like so and so sent you a message, but they really didn't send you a message. They sent a message to every one of their followers.
Right, like 50 people, and they just added you on there for no fucking reason.
And you're like, and you're looking at, well, this isn't for me. This is just like a post.
Right, like I have nothing to do with this.
Like you people, because you get intrigued when you have a message, and you're like, well, that's not really a message. That's just you're just posting.
Yeah, you're just trying to get on my nerves.
Yeah, because I don't think it's getting people more views. I think it's just annoying people, like at everyone.
Right.
Like, and I didn't put it on there because when you put the little @ symbol, it's like it automatically, does its thing. But that's all it was. It's just like, hey, if you want to send me a message or you want to like or comment on one of my things, then like or comment on one of my things or leave me a message. But leave that at everyone stuff somewhere else.
I get that a lot on Instagram. I don't go on Instagram a lot, but I do get the messages that someone added me to a group, and I know it's probably going to be like spam, but yeah, that shit gets annoying. So fuck you, spammers. Leave me alone and quit tagging us in this shit. That concludes what pissed us off this week. Now we're gonna roll into a new segment of the show, our top 5 of the week, and this week is gonna be for the I guess the older crowd. If you're in your maybe late 30s and beyond, you will definitely connect with this top 5. So the top 5 that's going on this week is top 5 worst 80 movies ever made. Me and you are pretty hell bent on the fact that the 80s was the best era of anything on earth.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why a lot of our top 5s have like the older vibes of like the 80s and 90s.
You there?
But with that, because all these movies suck ass.
You were freezing like Tyson.
So the first movie album, the movie The Blue Lagoon, it had a lot of the what now?
I said you were freezing like Tyson Paul last night.
Vibes. Oh, don't get me started on that damn fight. Oh, don't get me started. You know what? We're gonna do a top 5 of the worst boxing matches of all time. They're gonna have Jake Paul and all of them
already.
Yeah, that's already every one of his fucking fights from the top 5. But anyway, Blue Lagoon had weird pedo vibes. The actress that played in it was like underage and doing some questionable acting in the movie. And I think if I got my story straight, the couple in the movie, just in the movie itself, was supposed to be played like a brother sister thing, caught feelings for each other. Blue Lagoon, one of the
real quick, that Blue Lagoon, it reminds me of, you ever seen that Folgers commercial? They called it the Folgers incest commercial.
Yes.
Where the brother and sister.
Yeah. Wow.
Look that up, folks. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, look it up.
It's a thing.
All right.
But
So
anyway,
give me one of your movies.
Over the Top.
Over the Top.
Now, I love Sylvester Stallone. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Rocky,
Right.
Rambo, Cobra. Even Cobra's cheesy, but I like Cobra. Demolition
Cobra.
Man. You know, all those type of movies. I like them. But Over the Top, his son in this movie is an annoying brat. And
Yes.
and there's a guy at the end that drinks motor oil before his arm wrestling match. Like, this is just the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen.
Yeah. I like Over the Top. The storyline doesn't make sense, but it's one of those movies like like we were talking about before. It's so bad, it's good.
Yeah, it can be at bad
Kind of.
times that it makes you laugh.
Right. So okay, I could dig that. Only because of the guy that plays the son. That character was fucking annoying as shit. Another movie for me, Friday the 13th Part 3. The storyline just sucked ass, and it just kind of did not go with the vibe of what Friday the 13th is. So that's a second in my top 5 worst movies in the 80s. What's another movie for you? Worst movies in the 80s?
Police Academy 5.
Police Academy 5.
So this one's like does not have Steve Guttenberg, Mahoney in it.
Right.
And it's like you're taking the main star out of the franchise and you're basically just left with crap. And
right.
I'm not saying the first 4 were masterpieces, but to me they were funny movies. And the fifth one just stinks.
Yeah, it kind of goes with what we said. I think it was last week or the week before. You know, you take the main character out of Roseanne, and it turns to Connors, and then it also turns to shit. Same thing. Don't take Mahoney out of the fucking Police Academy. He was like the main, the main part of the movie. You gotta leave him in there. It's not going to be the same. That is a valid pick. My third movie might piss some people off. I don't know, but Porky's 2. Again, did not have the same vibes as the classic original Porky's movie. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree. I'm going to kind of piggyback on that one and say the Revenge of the Nerds sequels, both 2 and 3. I'm going to just put it together as one because both the sequels were crap.
Those were fucking garbage. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's like the first one's funny. Same with Porky's. First one's funny. Sequels stink.
Right. I agree with you. Okay, that's a good one. A fourth movie, top 5 worst movies in the 80s. Howard the Duck. I know now because of Marvel the Duck has like a little following going. But back in the 80s when that movie came out, half the people didn't know what the fuck it was about. The movie itself is fucking trash. Howard the Duck, number 4 on my list.
Yeah, kind of weird. There's that scene where Howard's with Leah Thompson, and it looks like they're fixing to do it or something. And
yes, yeah,
fixing to do it with a duck.
Bestiality at its best in the 80s. Give me your number 4.
The Wizard.
Ugh.
So back then, Nintendo was the biggest thing going. So they released this movie that's about Nintendo, but it's really about like I guess that autistic kid or whatever that's a genius at video games, and it's just like from the moment you start watching it, it's just stupid. Like the whole movie is just dumb.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everything you said. Number 5 is kind of piggybacking to what you said earlier. But for me, it's a personal choice. I think any Police Academy after the second one just was not as good for me as the first 2. So I got Police Academy 3, 4, 5 all the way to fucking 24. They all just did not live up to the same expectations as the first 2 movies. I don't know why. It's just how I feel.
Yeah, it definitely gets worse as the series goes on. I like 3 and 4 maybe more than you do, but 5, like when it gets to 5 and 6, it gets really bad.
It gets ridiculous. What's your number 5? Top worst 80s movies. Number 5. What you got?
Like Father, Like Son. Stupid Kirk Cameron movie where they switch places. And it's just stupid. And Kirk Cameron, if you watch Growing Pains, I mean, he can't really act. So.
No, I hear you, and I fucking agree with you. That's definitely a solid top 5. Top 5 worst 80s movies.
More like a
a lot of
bottom
times.
5.
Oh yeah, I could have did like a top 20 with that one, but we're kind of flowing with the top 5, so that's what we're gonna do. That concludes our top 5. And now we are gonna get to another new part of the show where we talk about conspiracy theories and whether or not we think it's true or not. And these conspiracy theories are relatively new. I think they're fucking ridiculous. So we're gonna start with the first one. And again, this is a newer one. This conspiracy says that internet routers cause 5G radiation. And from what I've been seeing on the internet, I wouldn't be surprised if a Democrat made this one up. But hey, January 6th, fuck you, Republicans. So I'm shitting on everybody. What do you think, Cyclops? Routers causing 5G radiation.
Yeah, I think the 5G is like a Republican conspiracy.
I think it is.
But either way, like, I like, wouldn't everybody be like dead by now, or like having a bunch of cancer or something? If
I mean, that's what I would think. That's what I
we
would
all
think.
have 5G everywhere now. It's like all over the place.
Yeah, you got the routers, you got your phone. I mean, it's everywhere. I would think that everybody would be like, it's like a Thanos snap, like half the population, especially in China and Japan, where they just live on technology. You would think those fuckers would be dead by now if this was true. There is absolutely no solid evidence to prove this point. And like we said when we first started this segment, we're kind of starting off with the more bullshit conspiracy theories, and we're working our way to the ones that are more plausible or more likely to have happened. So I think we can both agree this one is not true. Would you agree on that?
I don't see anything to support it that it is.
I don't either. It's kind of garbage. So internet routers cause 5G radiation. Absolutely bullshit. Moving on to the next one. Again, this one is very recent. This conspiracy says COVID shot has a microscopic 5D chip in it. My opinion, I took the COVID shot because at the time there was some issues where the job required it. And look, a lot of people were like, I don't want to get the shot. If 20 years, 30 years down the road, if I see a commercial that says, did you get a COVID shot? Did you have any symptoms? Are you bleeding from your ass? You're entitled to compensation. That's what I'm hoping for. That's the whole reason why I took the COVID shot to begin with. I'm hoping for compensation 20, 30 years from now. But I also think, though, that with all jokes aside, although I hope that happens. I think that whole idea that there's a chip inside the COVID shot, I think that was a scare tactic for those doomsday, people that are just like extra paranoid. I think it's bullshit. What do you think?
Hey, ever since I got that shot, my cell phone reception has been great.
Boom! You cannot beat that. So I gotta say, I think it's bullshit.
I do too. Is there a possibility that COVID shot makes you sick? I mean, sure. Like, we've seen some stuff out there. I don't think it's killing people like the way they say it's doing.
Nah,
these conspiracy
I think it's just like the flu shot. Like when you get the flu shot, they are literally making you sick so you don't get even more sick if you do get the flu. Yeah. So I think it was kind of something like that where, because I ain't gonna lie, when I got the COVID shot, I got it at my place of employment and I was sick the next fucking day. So, but I expected that because it's just like a flu shot. Every time you get the flu shot, you're going to get sick. And I think that's kind of the same thing with the COVID thing. Could there possibly be like some conspiracy thing going on where the government's doing shit behind our back? I mean, it's possible. I just don't have any evidence to prove that.
But I do believe that everybody should have the choice whether to or not take the shot. They should
absolutely.
They shouldn't be making people.
They shouldn't be making us have to take it. And I totally agree with you, but it is what it is. But I don't think that conspiracy theory is, for me anyway, I don't think it's true. Is it possible? I mean, anything's possible, right? I mean, they just confirmed that there's alien spacecraft going in and out of our oceans. So who knows? But that is going to conclude our conspiracy theories. Yeah. I don't know what we're going to go over next week, but we are definitely going to hit up some conspiracy theories every week. I just don't know which ones yet. Don't know our top 5. If you have any suggestions on a top 5 and some conspiracy theories, hit us up. Let us know. Hit me up on Fatboy Happy 82 on Twitter, or comment on this live feed on YouTube and Twitch. But in the meantime, we need to take a break and talk about something that's not on the script. As you guys can see, me and Cyclops were Denver Bronco fans. How do you feel about that loss last week?
Well, at first, you've seen those videos on YouTube where people smash TVs over a loss.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done that. I don't think I ever will, but
no,
that was as close as I think I've ever come to doing it. And it was like
annoying.
Like, here's the thing. I don't like the Chiefs. I don't like Taylor Swift. I don't like Travis Kelce. I don't like Patrick Mahomes. I don't like Andy Reid. I don't like any of them. I'm tired of them winning. That's just the thing. I mean, it is what it is. They've won 3 out of 4. We're tired of them, and they're our rivals. So that's just how it's going to be. And hopefully they can build upon what they got with Knicks, and we can move on. But that one was very tilting at that moment.
Yeah. And throughout the season, it's like the first couple games, Bo Nix was playing like trash. But he has gotten better every single week. So he's progressing on a positive note. And watching that game, the defense played good. Bo Nix played good. The run game can always be improved, but it wasn't horrible. It was just the last play of the last game. That sucked, especially against the Chiefs, because fuck the Chiefs. But I am hopeful that in the future, the Broncos will do something. Bo Nix is looking great. Fuck the Cowboys too. They are playing like total garbage, and there is nothing that makes me more happy than watching the Cowboys fail in the epic way that they are. Because as you know, we've had people tell us every fucking year, Cowboys gonna win it this year. We beat the worst team in the preseason by 1 point, so we're winning the fucking Super Bowl. But guess what? You ain't gonna make the playoffs this year. So guess what? I gotta say to all you Cowboy fans that aren't watching, but I really hope you were watching this. Did you hear that? I don't. What is that? Fuck you, Cowboy fans, and I am glad your team's playing like shit. Anyway, let's move on. We got some fan interaction. So we have Jose. I'm not gonna say the rest of his name. It's kind of inappropriate, but we'll go with Jose. Jose writes, "You stutter a lot." Thank you, Jose, or in your native tongue, Jose. I stutter a lot because your mom likes it when I go down on her. Moving on. Tiff 21 writes, Kevin Hart should be on that list. Last week, I think it was, we had a top 5 greatest comedians of all time. None of us had Kevin Hart in our top 5. This lady thinks Kevin Hart should be in the top 5 greatest of all time. What are your thoughts on that?
You ever heard Cat Williams on Kevin Hart?
No, I haven't heard what he said about Kevin Hart.
He's like, how did he just walk into Hollywood and he already had all these connections? He said he was a plant. Like he has all these conspiracies and stuff about Kevin Hart.
Well, there is video footage of Kevin Hart hosting a Diddy party.
I mean, so I wonder about a lot of celebrities are a little.
But and you know what's weird? If we're gonna jump down this rabbit hole just a little bit, ever since Diddy has been arrested, we haven't really seen a lot of Kevin Hart on TV, have we?
There's a lot of celebrities we haven't seen nothing of.
That's because they're all fucking flying overseas because they're about to get caught. So, Tiff, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but in this case, yours is wrong. Bill writes, "What do y'all do for a living?" I work as a shoe salesman. That's what I do for a living. And I'm working on getting my real estate license. Cyclops, what do you do for a living?
Well, I've been a photographer.
Hey, there you go.
Done some photos here and there. You know, I've been a substitute teacher.
Boom. Nothing wrong with that.
You know, that's controlled chaos.
It is controlled chaos.
Let's see. Like Kurt Warner, I bag groceries.
Oh, okay.
And now we work for the Illuminati secretly, and we can't tell you about what we're doing.
Nope. But I am I'm a shoe salesman going on 15 years, and yeah, I got a few more, and then I'm gone. Army Killer 44 has jumped into the live stream here. He said, "I'll give him my good foot. They're all corrupt and criminals." I'm assuming he's talking about when we brought up Democrats and Republicans. But yeah, hey, Army Killer 44. I have had that same mentality. I don't trust politicians at all because at the end of the day, I think they have their own agenda. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it really matters who gets selected as president. It's all going to be, in my opinion, mind you, it's just my fucking opinion. I do think it's going to be all about money at the end of the day. But although I almost voted for Trump only because he wants to get rid of taxes on overtime, and that would be fucking amazing because you guys have no idea how much overtime I have to work as a shoe salesman. So, yeah, shout out to him. Thank you for responding to that. Finally, we have Ricky B23 writes, "Digging the conspiracy part of the show. Go fuck yourself." Awesome. I'm glad y'all are liking that part of the show. Like I said, me and Cyclops here, we talk about, nerd shit because that's what we like to do. We like to talk about it. I think it's a good thing. Cyclops, what other conspiracies do you think we should hit up soon?
Bigfoot.
It's funny you say that. There is a video on TikTok going out right now. I don't know if it's real or not. You know how people make fake shit all the time, especially with AI. It's so easy to do that now. But apparently it's like the most clear video footage of a Bigfoot, and it's pretty much a very hairy, brown, red haired something sitting against a tree, just kind of like eating, like, I don't know, I guess grass or something. And it's pretty clear. It almost reminds me of the Sasquatch character with the Jack Lynx. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, but before I mention that, before I go further, Jack Lynx is really good beef jerky. They're not a sponsor of the show, but they should be after I tag them on this Twitter account. But anyway, it looks kind of like that. So I don't know. Here's my thing. So we've been able to find, like, we have clear video footage of like UFOs. There's like weird sea creatures coming up from the deep sea fishing companies where they're bringing up all these fish that were supposed to be extinct like millions of years ago. Now they're still finding them alive. Here recent years we found giant squid and all this other shit, and we're finding bones of dinosaurs, and giant, spiders from back in whatever days. But we have yet to find even a bone of a Bigfoot. Now, mind you, there is a difference between Bigfoot and another conspiracy theory that we might jump into where giants were alive, but I don't think those are the same thing, because there is articles, old ass newspaper articles from the 1800s where they discuss finding these bones, like a fucking 32 size foot bone. It's like giants may have been real. But
like
I don't
Jack,
think that's
like Jack and the Beanstalk or something.
Yeah, something like that. But I think these weren't as over exaggerated. I think the bones that they have found in the past were like, I don't know, like 9 foot, 10 foot fucking people. And there's a story about an Indian tribe somewhere here in the States where they attacked these giants. I think they called them red hairs or something like that. I'll look into that even further and we'll discuss it. But I don't think that's the same thing. The Sasquatch thing is like a whole other deal. And I'm at first I was like, it's got to be real because you never know. But now I'm starting to wonder because we can't even find a bone of a Bigfoot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Another one is we live in a simulation.
I can see that. Kind of like a Matrix thing.
Yeah, where it's like this is just a computer. We're in a computer program. We're basically characters in a game, in a sense.
I like it. I mean, who was it? Did Elon Musk? I think he's the one that said that he believes that might be a possibility. And he's like the smartest fucking nerd on earth.
Now, keep in mind when he was talking about it, he was smoking weed with Joe Rogan.
So. I mean, hey, let's not shit on the weed too bad because it's got a lot of medical benefits, you know. But yes, that episode of the Joe Rogan, which if you haven't seen, watch the Joe Rogan show also. Very, very good show. Shout out to Joe Rogan. But yeah, they were smoking so much weed on that episode. But it's got to make you think though, right? Like, do we live in a simulation? I have seen footage. Now, mind you, it's on TikTok. So I don't know if it's real. But like, there's one that stands out to me where this lady is like, she gets out of her car and she points her phone up into the sky. And there's a bird that's just sitting there. It ain't moving at all. But there's other, like you can see a damn fucking plane flying over it. And like, it's literally just still up in the air, not moving. And then there's like some other stuff. I mean, guys, if you Google, do we live in a simulation on YouTube or TikTok, you will see some crazy videos. Again, I don't know if it's real or not, but it's so fascinating. I mean, I think it's a possibility. One conspiracy theory that I think we'll jump into also in detail is, did we ever land on the moon? Which I don't think we did. I mean, what do you think? Did we land on the moon? Did we land on the moon?
I don't know. Like, I'm not absolute on that one either way.
I'm not either, man. There's evidence with their own. So tell me this, okay? Explain this one. Now, mind you, what year was it that we supposedly landed on the moon? Was it the 60s, right?
69, right?
I think it was 68 or 69. So you tell me how President Nixon gets on a phone line to talk to the astronauts on the moon.
I mean, unless they had satellites back then, which I think they did.
They did, because did you know that in Vietnam, we had GPS during Vietnam, but it was like a secret military thing and it wasn't known to public till like what, the 90s?
Yeah.
But we had GPS and shit in Vietnam. So is anything possible? Yes. A landline to the moon? Not so much. And there's also shadows you see from the footage of them, you know, landing on a moon. And who's taking that footage of the first man jumping out of the fucking Apollo? Who's recording that?
That is a big question.
Come on, man. And that is going to be a conspiracy theory that we jump into hardcore in the near future. You guys let us know here on Twitch and YouTube. We're live. Let us know what conspiracy theories you want us to get into. But that is pretty much the conclusion of fan interaction. So now, to end this episode, the first live episode of the Mad Suit Podcast, I'm going to give out the quote/advice of the week. And here it is. In real life, I assure you, there is no real thing as algebra. The teachers lied. We're not going to use algebra. Of course, we have computers on us at all times. It's called our phone. So guess what? I got a drum roll. Fuck you, teachers who told us I'd never have a calculator on me at all times. You lied. I'm your host, Fat Boy Happy. That's Cyclops. Thank you for anyone that's watching our first live of the show. Tune in every Saturday where we will be live. Maybe it'll be both of us. Maybe it'll be one of us. Either way, thank you for supporting us. And remember, guys, the moon landing was not real. You hear me?
Yeah.